I first read The Scandal of the Evangelical Mind by Mark Knoll back in 1994 when it came out. And I'm rereading it right now because our youngest son recently picked it up. The scandal, as Mark Knoll says, that there is not much of an evangelical mind. Sadly, I think this is so true. I've seen just difficulty in teaching anything of substance theologically, biblically, even in decidedly, quote, Bible churches, non-denominational churches, churches that tout a high view of Scripture. And I got curious, and I was looking at the state of theology that the Ligonier survey that they do every so often, and comparing and contrasting 2020 with 2022. And I'll just give two of the questions and then the percentages. This is among evangelicals, at least self-described evangelicals. Obviously, people can fit in a category and they're really not, but still, I think this is, from what I've seen, this is probably pretty accurate. Statement 1. Jesus was a great teacher, but he was not God. 2020, 30% of evangelicals agreed. 2022, 43% of evangelicals agree. Second question. God accepts, and this is obviously open to interpretation, the worship of all religions, including Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. 2020, 42% agree. 2022, 56% agree. What I've seen, being in a lot of different churches, is the pitch and the persuasion that has to be made to teach substantive courses is really, really challenging. It's a sad state of affairs. I think what J.I. Packer was saying, that the need of the hour when he was alive, died recently, was Christian education. Dallas Willard called it spiritual formation. In a generation before, Henrietta Mears said it was tragic that you'd go to church and you'd get such a thin gruel of, quote, education, and yet when you go off to the university, you get something really substantive. And here we're talking about the most significant issues of life and death, and we're just settling for just this thin gruel again of nothingness. So I think we're in a sad state of affairs. It seems like there's a desperate need for a real reformation. You know, revival is generally reviving within the given structures. Reformation is where some of the structures and even theological assumptions need to be considered. And one of them, I think, desperately is the reformation and revival of Christian education in a lot of churches. I want to say most churches, but certainly a lot of churches.